month of love, and just as people make plans for Christmas and Easter celebration, Valentine's Day, which is marked on the 14th of February, remains one of the most celebrated events on the calendar. But do you know the history of Val's Day? Why is it a big day to others, whereas some people say it's just one of those days and they just don't want to observe it? On this Val's Day special edition on Moans and Cuddles, we explain to you the importance of Val's Day, whereas we suggest to you ways of making your Val's Day memorable for you and yours. My name is Paulina Deda Opoku. I promise you that we're going to have fun on this episode. Welcome back to Moans and Cuddles here on Ghana Web TV, and I am Paulina Deda Opoku. So we'll move straight into our discussion for today. But I'm sure you've heard that they say Ghanaian men don't give flowers. Actually, some of them don't give flowers. And then most of our ladies do prefer money and vacation to, you know, the flowers. So on that note, we visited a floral shop to see how the business is here in Ghana, and especially in this month of love, February. We are here at Unique Flora, undoubtedly one of the biggest floral shops in Ghana, to see how the floral business is going and to find out whether or not Ghanaian men like buying flowers. So first of all, there's this notion that in Ghana flowers are very expensive. How true is it?
Not so true. Number one, because at first they used to be expensive because we used to import them from Kenya, Ethiopia, and everywhere else. But now we grow them in our own farm here in Ghana, in Ibri. So it's actually cheaper now because we don't have to pay for freight and everything else that comes with it. So it's actually cheaper now, yeah.
So do people usually come in for the fresh flowers or the ones which are artificial for you to, you know, decorate it? How do they do it?
It depends on the purpose of, with which they're ordering, but usually it's fresh because they just want to present it for a birthday or something like that. But if you want to decorate your house, we usually recommend artificial flowers.
But then how is the business? Are people really into it? Do people come in, or is it for special occasions like maybe weddings, parties, or do people just walk in and, oh, I want to get flowers for my loved one, and then you get it done?
There's not a lot of that, but usually for special occasions like birthdays, and all kinds of like little occasions like weddings and anniversaries and all that kind of stuff. Yes, we have people coming in, but other than that, not really for occasions, yes.
Now the big one is Val's Day, the month of love. Have you been receiving orders? Oh, okay, I want to surprise my loved one this Val's Day. How is sales like?
We actually have one client who said he wants to surprise his girlfriend every single day for the week before Valentine. So that was quite an experience, but yes, it's been great. People have been very supportive because we do not encourage in-store orders right now, but we have a disinfection chamber outside to make sure that everyone is safe while they're taking their orders, while they're placing orders. So yes, we have everyone's safety in hand. Yeah, that's basically it.
But then for us in the month of love, what would your message be to people out there who might not really like the whole idea of, oh, flowers, maybe it's not a thing for Ghanaians? How would you debunk those claims and your message to them this Val's Day period?
You can never go wrong with flowers. You actually can never go wrong with it. There's nothing like, oh, she might not like this, she might not like that with flowers. It's just one for all. And every design is personalized. So you can come and say, oh, my girlfriend is really affectionate, really loving, and we'll know what bouquet to match that. You can say my girlfriend's a party animal, we'll know what bouquet to match that. Yes.
So yeah, that's how the floral business is faring here in Ghana. But then, since it's the month of love, you can do well to, you know, purchase your loved one some, you know, flowers. You never know if they like it or not. You could try it and you could give us the feedback too. But to help us to do today's discussion, I have some interesting guests here. Because it's a special, we have to give you the best. So, let's say ladies first. So I have here with me Edna Ado. She's an entrepreneur. Later on I'll tell you what she's into, but I call her Wild Edna. Girl, that girl is on fire. I will tell you. Okay, and right seated next to me is Ogochukwu Nweke. I got it right?
Yes, you did.
I did.
98%.
I did. And he's a lawyer and he's a relationship consultant. You know, he just doesn't talk. Anything that goes on in a relationship, he can just see you, and for a moment, for a few talks, he can tell you the kind of person you are, and then how you should go about things. So today's exercise, as I tell you, is going to be very interesting, and we're going to look into the importance of Vows Day. Why is it that it's a big deal to some people, while others say, oh, it's just one of those things? But then we are not going to forget the fact that it's good business for some people, because during this time there are hospitality sections where we have people booking hotels, and then those who do the decor and all the gifts. You know, there are a lot of people who means business for them. But then Edna, Vows Day is a big deal for some people, and then it's business. But then looking at this COVID era where, you know, people don't really go out and all that, restaurants, the hotels, which are expected to get more clients in this season, how do you think it's going to be celebrated this time around?
There was something someone posted on, I think, Snap, about now we doing virtual Valentine. That won't work. What I think this year should be about is you can always order. Restaurants are working, moving pickup restaurants are still working. So I think, please book. Let them bring it to my house. Let me eat. And then I feel like whatever you have to do, you order in to the house and then stay in. Stay safe as well.
Is it going to be bad business for hotels, restaurants, and all those people that package, you know, all the teddy bear, the flowers, the chocolate that comes with it all? How do you think this Vows Day is going to be in this COVID era?
Well, I think I'll go with what Edna said. Of course, the hospitality industry is definitely terribly hit, you know, within this period, but it's also giving us the opportunity to think outside the box. And the suggestion that Edna made is absolutely on point. You know, I think that people should find another way to make the business work. So this is the time for them to start telling us what they can do. And we'll see who applies it. Not just
delivery
for the 14th,
services.
you know,
There's
beyond.
delivery services, yeah. In that way, Edna, but wait, it really saves a lot of people. You know, now you don't have to. Maybe when you're double dating, or those who are double dating, maybe your partner want to come in and all that and create a scene. Maybe it's at the office. So if the delivery guys bring it in, who knows? You never know.
What if your partner decides that, okay, he's bringing it himself. So delivery guy delivers it to him and he brings it. What do you do?
That one is up to you for double dating, but
So, but like, double dating is a good market for Valentine's Day.
okay, of course, but then we are not going to talk much about it, because they're going to say like, oh, you guys are preaching on. But then, hey, the gifts get double. But then I hope you don't do extra work when they all call you to, you know, come in. That's up to you. But then, when it comes to Vows Day, a lot of people they are lost when it comes to the gifts to give to their partners. Some women will do the regular boxers, the singlet, which the men say they are very tired. They want something new. So we'll start with the men, because they have been complaining that they've been left out. What would you want from your woman or your partner on Vows Day?
Well, for me, you know where I stand on Vows Day. But if you speak generally on you know, love and how you make the person you're in a relationship with feel loved and all of that, I think love responds to a need, and it's really not nice to keep getting people gifts just because you think that it is the random thing that men will like. And you know, Edna is different from Paulina, okay? And so it is your responsibility, if you truly love Edna, to know what Edna loves and what she wants. But you're not just going to walk in and see, oh, Paulina's husband bought this for her, I'll just get it for Edna as well. Okay, that would be, for a want of a better word, irresponsible. Okay, and so it is the responsibility of people in relationships to know the people they're in a relationship with, so they know the right things to get for them.
Okay.
From time to time.
But then as a man, maybe for the men or women who are watching, who are thinking of, what do I get my partner? Is it a watch? Is it a perfume? Should I take him out? As a man, can you just suggest some of the things to our ladies who are tuning in right now?
I won't lie to you, Paulina. You know, I'll be very sincere. I stopped doing that 5 years ago.
Huh.
Yes, because you know there are five steps to making your man happy. Okay? You buy me a perfume, I'll never use it. You buy me a wristwatch, I'm not a wristwatch person. And you know how terrible it is when you buy someone a gift and notice that the person never uses it.
Yeah.
And so this is the assignment to all the women out there, and an assignment to all the men out there. get to know the person you're in a relationship with so that you can do right by them.
So Edna, as a woman, what are some of the gift ideas that you suggest to men?
Usually I am more into the trips and I am into the shopping.
Okay.
So if you feel like you don't know what to give me, I'm not very difficult to please. Please give me your ATM card, your Visa card. Let it scream, so that I can be able to go out and go like, hey, this bag I'm wearing, 10 years down the line, I could have it in my closet and go like, oh, this guy bought it for me. So give me your cash. Let me buy what I want, and I think that's the best gift you can give to me.
But Edna, do you do flowers?
Unfortunately, I don't. I believe we weren't brought up in that way, especially where this is Ghana. We don't have fresh roses, we don't have the fresh tulips and everything. So at the end of the day, are you giving me artificial flowers? I would really not appreciate it. So I believe that's one of the reasons why Ghanaian girls, or let me say this African side, we don't do flowers. It's because it's not the real thing. If it was real, we could go like, okay, we'll put it in a vase. Yeah, your friends come around, hey, my boo-boo got it for me. But if it's artificial, it's already dead. Come on.
But then there are a whole lot of stories surrounding Vows Day. Some say that it was a blood covenant between two. We have a lot of stories. But then I'll start with you, Ogu. As Africans, some say we don't know the whole idea behind it and we just jump onto it, and then we wear red. You force your men to impress. As someone who knows the ins and outs of Vows Day, can you just give us a fair idea, the history about this day?
Okay, so there are two angles to it. Now, there were two brothers called Romulus and Remulus. Okay, the story is that when they were born, their mother wasn't found. They were born in the bush, and a she-wolf came and took care of them and raised them. Now, these two brothers ended up becoming the founders of Rome, the city called Rome, and they instituted February 14th as the Feast of the She-Wolf, which is called Lupercalia. So the 14th of February is actually the Feast of Lupercalia. And when you also look at the European and Mediterranean culture, this period is the fertility season. Okay, it's the fertility season. And so what will usually happen is that as 14th of February approaches, the young men will kill a goat, pour the blood into a bucket, then take the tail of the goat, dip it in the blood, and then just sprinkle. Now the ladies will wear white, so that's where the red and the white came from. So the ladies will wear white, and when the guys sprinkle, whoever the blood touches is theirs for the night. Oh. And so if it is one or two or three, depending on the number and how well you splash. Okay. Yes, and so they spend the night. So no committal. It's just a night of orgy and whatever else comes along with it, and that is why people connect the season even till today to the fact that most of the times on February 14th, condoms either sell out or almost sell out. See, and so there's a history behind it, and one way or another you see these things continuing, and it is, yes, of course, it's an African. It doesn't mean that we do not have our own love festivals and our own fertility festivals and all those things. And so it is our responsibility to learn and know. And then for the people that also hold tight onto their faith, they tend to believe that it is something inconsistent with the professions they make, in terms of their faith.
Okay. But you made a point about it's word on the street that on the day condom sells out. Of course, looking at it, it means that people who are having sex are having protected sex. So we might say, okay, we agree with that. But then is this something that has come to stay? And should we be alarmed? As youth, there are some people who might just do it because the thing is all about sex. Do we need more education on that? Yes,
we don't just need education on that. We also need to come to a point where we advise ourselves on the things that we do. Quite a number of times we do things because we do not know. Okay, but when we get to know that there's a way it changes our mindset and also directs us, okay? there are just certain seasons, and when they come, I don't know if it's ever happened to you. It's as if, you know, you're not thinking straight, and when everything finishes, you just ask yourself, what did I just do? You know, these things come with the season, comes with the time. And some people don't believe in spirituality or the fact that these things might have spiritual implications, but it is true, and these things do happen. You know, so in the education, people need to know the history so that they can make up their minds as to whether they can do it or not. And of course, you really don't need a particular day to show love. Love is something, it's a life we live. It's something that we do always. You know, and so you show love every day of your life. And so if you do that, it becomes normal to you, you know, and whether it is that day or not. And you know, there are so many other days that we celebrate. There are so many other days that we show love. The birthday of the person, so many anniversaries you want to celebrate. The person has graduated, or the person has hit, you know, this great milestone. There's so many things we can celebrate and show love. And so the question is, why does it have to be 14th of February?
Okay. And one interesting part I want to delve in is the school of thought that has to do with blood covenants and the day where two people prove their love. You know, currently now we don't hear more of blood covenant, but then I will not be surprised that it still goes on to the extent that someone has to prove their love with all that and the whole spirituality that comes with it. On the back of that too, how do we go about that too?
I think it's very, very dangerous, and I can tell you for a fact that it's still happening. It's still happening. Now, in our culture, when you care about someone and you want to spend the rest of your life with that person, you know, the person is betrothed to you. Maybe the families come together. Of course, in the African society as well, you know, marriage is not a union between two adults, it's between two families and sometimes two communities. Now, you need to know that anytime people start speaking about blood covenants, there's someone that is feeling insecure or uncertain about the future. And it's a dangerous thing to do. And you don't need to say, I want to commit myself to you, to prove to you that I'm going to spend the rest of my life with you by committing. The life of everything is in the blood. And so when you go into a blood covenant, what you have actually done is, you know, you've given your life to this other person. And you've said that, man, we will stay connected forever. What if you change your mind tomorrow? You're a person. You're a person, you're growing, you have aspirations. What if this person does not fit into it in the future? You know, why do you put yourself into that kind of situation? If the person loves you, cares about you, and believes that you two are meant to be together, yes, wait it out. Yes, but don't set yourself up.
But Edna, on the whole blood covenant thing, if you meet a man who says they like you very much, and then they're like, oh, for us to prove our love to each other, let's go into the, would you do that as a woman?
It's a no, a complete no. It goes against my faith, because I believe if we're talking about faith, if you have given yourself to somebody already, you don't give yourself to another person again, and that's what the covenant is about. And so for my faith, I've given myself to my creator already, so I can't decide that, okay, now that I've met this man, I'm going to go into a blood covenant with him. I already have a blood covenant with the person who came to die for me. So this is another covenant I don't want to take. And it comes with repercussions.
But then those who find themselves in that, how do you get out of it?
Yes, so the first thing, like you said, you need to break the covenant. You need to break the covenant, and it's a spiritual process, you know. So you see the spiritual authority over you, and the person is going to tell you, you know, what to do and how to go about it. But it's also, you know, about you denouncing and renouncing everything that, you know, that covenant, you know, has come with. And you've got to be very serious about it. And what people need to always know is that the fact that you've made a covenant with someone does not change that person, does not make that person unique in any way. It does not make that person mature if the person is not a mature person. You know, it doesn't change anything. And so you need to pay attention to who you're going into a relationship with, and know that a relationship is a choice. You know, and that is very African. The blood covenant thing, dangerous.
But hey, as we said, be sure of what you're signing up for. We're still here on Moans and Cuddles, and then this is a Vows Day special. You know, I know you see all I'm wearing. I'm all ready, yeah. I'm celebrating it. And then to me, those helping me do today's discussion is Edna Ado. Edna, thank you very much. And then Ogo.
Yes.
Ogo. Yes. Yeah, so you're still here on Moans and Cuddles. This is a Vows Day special edition. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, the show continues.
powers and principalities.
There's so much fire inside me.
Tragedy struck when part of the largest hillside at the kosher rubbish dump collapsed.
It's going to be fun to see how he goes about approaching this game.
People can hold on to Val's Day memories for years. As I stated earlier, it is a big deal for some people, and let me say, some of us. Now, let's take you down memory lane, where some people share their most memorable Val's Day experience.
My memorable Val's Day in high school was in Form 213. I was convinced that day I was going to be part of the National Association because it was getting to the last minute of visiting that day, and thank God it was visiting. It was getting to the last minute of visiting, and no gifts, no visits, until the Lord decided to be my knight in shining armor, and came through with a visit from my parents. In fact, when I was called, I was literally confused because I wasn't expecting them. They didn't give me a heads up. They literally just surprised me. I went out, I saw them, and they came bearing gifts arranged in a red basket to fit the occasion. Champagne, red grapes flavored champagne with juice, wachi, homemade wachi. Have you tasted that before? Homemade wachi with all its department. I'm talking spaghetti, vegetables, stew, shito, everything, egg. I think she had a chicken, my mom, and then chocolate, of course, chocolate. They made me the star girl of the Val's Day in my house, in my dormitory, because I went and I invited my friends. They all came around, and boy, what a time we had.
So I remember in Form 1, a friend of mine, a Form 1 fresh, was like, your school fresh. We came into school in October, and then in February, a second term, she had a boyfriend in Form 3. Form 1 girl, you have a boyfriend in Form 3. Your school mother is in Form 4. Val's Day, our sister got a hamper with chocolates, teddy bear, champagne, cards. Just there, and your small hamper. Meanwhile, her school mother is gnashing. Her school mother was big time gnashing. And the school mother called her. In fact, she summoned her. She made her kneel down, bore her, told her that the teddy bear is very ugly. She should take it back to the guy. The teddy bear looks like the guy.
I haven't been so lucky on Val's Day, probably because I wasn't so interested in relationships and because I had a bad experience when I was in senior high school. I broke up with my ex now because I saw him talking to another girl. I guess that was so childish, and it was on Val's Day, so I'm just hoping I have the best Val's Day this time.
Personally, I didn't have a Valentine experience of any sort, yes. But I was indirectly involved in the love lives of some of my mates and colleagues, which was pretty interesting because they'd have me write out short notes and letters to their crushes and significant others in and out of campus during the Valentine season. And in as much as it wasn't, it didn't bring me close to any love experience or any special experience on campus. It was funny and interesting at the same time because indirectly I have their ladies, crushes, significant others owing to my stuff, be like, oh, and stuff like that, to my own words. And it was just funny to think of because you'd be like, they're into me, but they don't know. They think it's from their boyfriends or crushes or whatnots.
That was the experience. Personally, I didn't have a boyfriend, so I didn't have any experience of receiving gifts. I didn't know if somebody was crushing on me or those things, but I didn't have. But I had friends, couple of friends who received chocolates, flowers, and teddy bears. Like teddy bears were the most popular one that people receive because girls, I want teddy bear, and all that. kind of thing. So most of them receive teddy bears, chocolate, flowers, like I said, romantic cards, and all that. Basically that's what I can say. And when it's like if you had a boyfriend on campus, when it's prep time, the chalking here and there, and maybe those who had outside campus, they have to find someone they have on campus, then they just be talking, chalking, and all that.
Edna, you tell us your most memorable Vows Day experience.
Well, I was there last year.
Okay.
So I was going out with a gentleman, and he said every day, just like what you said, every day is a day for lovers and all of that. So you don't need to have a particular day to show your love. I'm like, okay, it is your own. Waiting concern me.
That one don't concern me.
No concern me. So I was like, okay, no problem. And I had a lot of people who were calling to check up on me, see if I want to come out and stuff. I'm like, okay, since it's not for lovers, let me go and be with friends. And actually, I left. I was with friends. I actually posted the pictures. Very fun evening. Like it was from Friday evening all the way to Saturday. I came home on Saturday evening actually. So it was like a weekend getaway with friends, and there were guys and all of that. Not that I was having double dated, but this gentleman on Monday had issues to do with it. Like, I was expecting you to know that we don't need a special day to celebrate that we love each other, so you should have been there. I'm like, look, you said you don't do Valentine's Day. If you don't do Valentine's Day, Paulina, your assumption would be that he doesn't want to spend the day with you, right?
Sure.
Yes. So I actually took the time to be with someone who wanted to be with me.
There are a lot of events that goes on, but then now COVID season, I'm not sure much will be going. But now that you're laughing, you have to tell me your most memorable Vows Day experience. You surely have one.
I don't.
You don't? Really? Hi. You don't say.
No, I have never. I have.
No, please. Come on.
I haven't.
Come on. Come on.
I haven't.
Really?
Sincerely.
I don't believe it. For a fat gentleman like this? Not even a chocolate.
Oh, no.
No,
Choc-
you're going to give you time
like have
to...
a chocolate day or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, but not in the spirit of the Valentine's Day. I'm a Pan-African.
Oh boy.
I'm a Pan-African. And I am completely, that's not my path.
Really?
Okay, no, but yes, I do show love, and I enjoy love. I appreciate love, and I enjoy it when love is shown to me, and I do my best to show love as well. I actually show love a lot.
But then what happens to a partner who wants to celebrate the day, but then your partner is like, just like, let's take you and I, myself, for instance. You don't really believe in the day, but I do cherish it. And I'm with you, and I want you to make the day memorable. How are you going to balance that?
Yes, and it's a very important question. That is why people need to talk, so that they can be realistic about the expectations from their relationship. So if I know that this is the way you are, and you know that this is the way I am, like you said, we'll find a way to balance it. But it's going to come with a lot of talk, okay? And then on that day, I mean, you two just find a way to balance things out, but don't expect too much from the person. Yes, because when you do, then you're going to be disappointed, and you're going to even interpret it that this person does not love you.
So if that happens, can I, honor any invitation? So, just as Edna did.
You?
And then you don't come back and act like, oh, so you went out.
No, so I'll tell you this. And with Edna, who, by the way, I very free-spirited, beautiful. I tell you. Now, until you're married to someone, or you're courting, or you've started a certain path, okay, the level of commitment should be minimal. It should be minimal. But when you are married to the person, okay, you wouldn't just get up and say, I'm going to spend the weekend somewhere else, But I think that it's a situation where she understands the fact that I am a person, this is my life, okay? And even though I am saying that I am connected with you in a relationship, there's a certain level of committal that I owe to you. And so when it gets to that point, I still need to be me and live my life which I think is very, very good. It still establishes the fact that you're a person, that you have your freedom. Okay, but there's a point you get to in a relationship, you will not be able to just get up and go. It's not going to happen. And so you look at it in terms of at what point in the relationship are we? Okay, for instance, I hear people when they say, oh, we're dating, and they're expecting 1,000,001 obligations from you. The point where you're dating is a non-committal relationship. When you have chosen to commit, then you know that committal comes with responsibilities. Yeah. But when you haven't made up your mind, it has to be very, very clear. Okay? And quite frankly, when you meet someone, you don't just get to know people all of a sudden. You need to take time to know them. Now, it is very easy to be attracted to someone, but at the end of the day, it might not be the kind of person you want to have a relationship with. Feelings come and go. Okay, so we're sitting, you know, and then you see Paulina. She's beautiful. You're having a conversation with her. You're saying to yourself, this could be the kind of lady I want to spend the rest of my life with. Then you start having a conversation, and then she says, I like Val's Day, and he says, I don't like Val's Day. That could be the reason, you know, that I say, okay, let me step back a little and find out if this is what I really want to do. Okay, but what we usually do is the moment, you know, you date, you exchange a few text messages. No. You know, and that is why people get into a relationship, the middle of the river, they're asking them, what am I doing here? But the moment you begin to think like that, you're making investments. You're investing emotion, time, energy, everything. And that is why it becomes a bit too difficult to pull out even when you know you shouldn't be in that relationship.
And then there are some people who say that if you call your boyfriend or your partner, your girlfriend on Val's Day, and she's like, oh, I'm in an important meeting, we'll be staying overnight, I will not come. Your husband says, oh, we're taking a trip, on Val's Day I'll not be around. Some people think it's a cause for alarm. They will not take that. So on that, what is, people say that is when you know you are the side chick or the main chick. So true? If I have it to myself on Val's Day, it means like, yeah, I'm the main chick. So Edna, on that, what is the implication of not making time for your partner during that? Maybe it's different when you don't buy it, but then we both, you know, buy it. But then I call you, you're not picking, and then you come back to me the next morning. What do you want me to do?
Well, that is where most of us ladies, young ladies, we have issues with. We have issues with identifying what the particular problem is. You don't have to even wait for Valentine's Day to know that the man isn't as committed as you think.
It's not yours.
You have to know by how he's responsive to you, and I'm saying this on a fact that if a man is crazy about you, he can't breathe without calling you.
Yes, baby.
There is that.
Yeah.
But when a guy can go 2 days, 3 days without talking to you, sister, you are not the main. Like, you are side. In fact, is that another part of side chick?
You are down there. We call you emergency time.
You see, so you have to know that if a guy calls you, he doesn't have all the time in the world, and so maybe he can call you twice a day. I'm not saying the 5 times a day. We are not.
It's not prayer.
It's not prayer. So I'm just saying that if he calls you maybe once in the morning, or so let's say he calls you in the morning, he's made it his habit to call you every morning to wake you up. Then you, the lady, give back. It's a give and take relationship. Evening, before you go to bed, check on him. How was your day? What happened? Did you eat right? Did you take your water the way you're supposed to? It comes in, so it's a give and take. It shouldn't be the man always trying. Men love attention, they do. So as they are babying you, you expect them to baby you. Please baby them first.
But Edna, so you will not be alarmed if your man disappears and resurfaces on 15th of February.
Okay, so this is the thing. Before the 14th, I'm asking you, what is happening on the 14th? I don't do surprises very well.
Okay.
Because I do not want to be surprised in the negative way. So I'm asking you, what are we doing on the 14th? If you're giving me a nonchalant answer, an answer that it's not on the positive or affirmative, I already have started making plans. My one leg of mine is actually out.
Yeah.
I'm that decisive. I may be crazy about you, but I do not think with here. I think with here. So I believe once you ask him way before 14th and he doesn't give you any concrete, you should know what to do by then. You don't have to wait for the 14th.
But this is the question. Your partner might ask you, what do you want to do? Oh, anything. And should women, call out what they want? That applies to men too. Because if you are complaining that you get all the boxes, women should do extra. At least you should tell us what you want. Because if your partner, what do you want? Oh, babes, there's nothing. Just surprise me. What if he surprise you with a bar of chocolate? Are you going to be surprised? So should we be vocal about what we want?
How surprising is a bar of chocolate?
So what are you going to do? Oh, thank you. I wasn't expecting this.
I like that.
But just two things I'd like to quickly say.
Okay.
Now, the first thing, I think when people say surprise me, they will be surprised just to know that you have observed them enough to know that this is what they need. And that's the problem. We don't work as hard as we're supposed to sustain our relationships. And that's an indication. So if you say, I don't want, just surprise me or anything will be fine, okay? That might be the person calling you to just observe and find out what they need. Because, love responds to a need. And and some of the times they might just be dropping hints. They might just say something, and just observe, listen. Now, if you don't do it, it might not be a big deal. But if you do it, if you get it right, okay, there's a way it adds an amazing spark in your relationship. Something that you might never, ever forget. Okay, but then with the issue of the day and the person vanishes, and, I was just gonna say that some of the times it might also be that we are so interested in the things that we want that we're not paying attention to the realities of our relationships. If you're in a relationship with a doctor, for instance, the person may have promised you the whole world, okay? There are situations where the husband and the wife, the guy is a doctor, and even when the wire is sparking, you know what I mean? The wire is sparking.
I get it.
Aha. Even when the wire is sparking, he gets a call and there's an emergency. He will leave you with your wire.
He'll come and continue later.
These are realities. And if you don't understand that that is the reality of your relationship, it means you don't understand the implications of being in a relationship with a doctor. And so anytime he moves out like that or she moves out like that, you're just saying to yourself, we need to redefine this relationship. I don't think you love me enough. Your job is more important than I am. But that's not the truth.
There are sometimes, there are situations where you observe your partner, there's something. Let's take even married women. Maybe your husband is, messing around with a younger person. And then as the young girl, she'll be like, oh, maybe, Daddy, what are you going to do for me this time? I want you to be with me. And of course, it's going to come up with a story for the wife. So as a woman who is, observing, waiting for your confirmation, would you be alarmed if he's giving you an excuse, which he is not a doctor. He's not a journalist who is working in the evening, like just a normal person, but he just want to come up with something and not spend time with you and be with the other person. Is it that we think too much, or maybe sometimes just the reality? But Ogo, you want to add something to that?
Well, okay, so just very quickly, and then when this is what it comes at the cost of my job. I cannot deny that I've had to deal with things like that, and this is what I say, and very straightforward. Don't beat yourself over someone that is not capable of loving you the way you want to be loved. You'll kill yourself. Okay? Now I can tell you for a fact that men do not allow side chicks to compete with their wives. They if they want to be with it, that's what they want to do, so that's why they do it. You see, that's what they want to do, that's why they do it. But they would never allow a side chick compete with their wives. It doesn't happen. So if you find yourself in that situation as a woman and this is what's going on, okay, it might just be that this guy is not capable of loving you the way you want to be loved. Advise yourself.
Advise yourself. So you heard from him. Advise yourself. If you're suspecting that he's leaving you to be with the other person, do leave him. But Anna,
I think I want to add something to what you were saying. You were saying if you are with your husband, let's say you're a wife and your husband has a side chick. This is the truth, and this is one of the things. It's terrible, it's hard, but it's the hard truth. most men cheat. No, most men they've got the side. And it's not as a result of the wife not being the kind of woman they want and all of that. I have mentors and male mentors, and these are men that would tell you, look, my side chick cannot come and compete with my wife. So they are real men. They are able to understand that, oh, okay, I have a side chick because, oh, she does something my wife doesn't do. That's it. But on that Valentine's Day, they make efforts and make sure that their wives come first. So you just, a real man would know how to treat their wife. And if he's not there with you, I think you should advise yourself, as you say.
Yeah, so on that note from Edna, if your partner is not there for you on that day, advise yourself. But please don't come back crying to us if you advise yourself and now you're like, why did I let him go? But we'll take a quick break. When we come back, the show continues.
We table issues relating to the arts and entertainment for a riveting discussion, of course, without fear nor favor.
The question the presenter asked them was a dumb question. You need to speak the fact and move.
Varied views. We agree to disagree.
So I would disagree with everything you said. I think that he's a smart guy. I think what he did.
No, but I also said he's a smart guy.
Yeah.
I guess that I'm waiting for the what next.
Yeah, I don't think that we have to wait for what next.
It sometimes gets confrontational, but that's the beauty of the game.
Today you deny funny face. It's not my brother. Today you deny funny face. I don't know him. You don't know funny face. It's not my brother. You don't know funny face.
It's a package. We meet, we sit, we dialogue, we learn, we progress. My name is Benefo Huabin Abrantepa, a proud blogger, and this is my forum.
So since Val's Day is known to be a day of giving, we went on the streets to find out the gifts and plans people have for their partners this Val's Day.
Oh, me expect to be could be the man because a special day in the other children is semi dono. Because I am a year in the end moment piano and yes, if you have vowed in combat, when a special day for the first time, I may my wife. But me prepare something special. I'm the man.
No, my partner, but my loved one, my cousin.
What is that?
Chocolate and some nice dresses.
What can you give someone?
Yeah, I'm preparing some spray and some other things for my cousin too.
Oh, me make my to never be a man. Make my to chocolate. Never be.
No, who's expecting anything?
Me no better me amadio.
Now who's say who are going to be our expecting so be ma bibiana?
Oh, girl, be kasa tutu.
Now who's on for na wo ye? What to chocolate and flower and attire?
Metro ade pese me komano kura onfa, me flan kura onfa. Me nimpo me nim ade na me ye no.
It is an account and call Yan Cadena and call Betty funeral Val's Day.
Oh, I don't know my baby.
Welcome back to Moans and Cuddles here on Ghana Web TV. My name is Paulina Deda Opoku. So, Mr. Mweke, what are you getting your wife? Yeah, what are you getting your wife this Val's Day?
My wife?
Yes.
What am I getting for her?
What are you getting for her? I put you on the spot.
On Val's Day?
On Val's Day.
We don't celebrate Val's Day.
This matter, she can go on and on.
Oh, the matter tied up. We don't celebrate Val's Day.
Nah.
Chocolate? For waiting?
Nothing special, evening session, nothing special.
So you've got to know the person you're married to, you know. So I'm just sitting down imagining myself walk into the house on February 14th with a box of chocolate and I carry. My wife would just look at me Obafa, wait here.
Because you've not been doing this, not a thing now.
No, okay, on the one hand, it's not a thing. On the other hand, alpha. You carry chocolate car house. Who go chop her?
So she understands that.
Yeah. So she's Pan-African as well.
Okay.
Yes, she's Pan-African as well. And so if I were, there's certain things you do and she'll just look at you and say, wait till you chop. So these are our realities, and so it's not a day that it's just like this one is going to be on a Sunday. It's going to be like every other Sunday.
So your story is special because there are some people who will not understand, but then for you and your partner to agree that, oh, this is not a thing, how did you come to that realization?
So it's important that you are in a relationship with someone you can call your friend. Someone you guys have given yourselves the opportunity to grow together, and you're not trying for this person to be like you. You understand that you have differences and you're working with your differences as they are. And so as you grow in the process, you learn, you grow, you make the mistakes that you make, and it makes you better. So I've known my wife for over 25 years. Yes, and don't say it. So I've known my wife for over 25 years, and we've been good friends, and we know ourselves and how we deal. So yeah, we've just been like that.
Edna, so what are you getting your man this Val's Day? What plans are you making?
Okay, so this is something I actually am more into. I'm not into the boxers and the singlets.
Yes, baby. You're on a different level.
I'm on a different level.
Yes, baby.
I love customized stuff. So I'm going to get monogrammed towels, monogrammed pens, monogrammed car key holders, and all of that. So basically, I have diaries. All of those things are things that come into play when I'm looking at, because I'm looking at things he's going to use. Does he write a lot? Diary, pen, his name on it. Yes, so, or maybe his initials, and you have to put your name there as well, so that anybody who sees it knows that it's coming from you. Yeah, so just monogram stuff for him. You can even have your initials in a, like maybe Ogo and Edna, right? So Ogo and Edna, but you have it in maybe O and E. So he knows that this is us.
Special.
It's special. So you can get him face towels, you can get him bath towels, duvets. Please, if you get it, just monogram it, and he's always going to remember you by that every time he posts that duvet out.
But then one thing that really interests me is the church's all-new involvement in Val's Day. Yeah, people say, oh, it's with the people of the world, it's just about sex. But then now, more than ever, churches, they hold seminars for couples and the youth. So on Val's Day, like, oh, we've been announcing two months earlier, oh, we're having a seminar. On Val's Day, you guys should come. Youth service, we're going to have this.
Singles.
So that, sister, so that we don't get our children to be going out and having sex like anyhow. Do you think that is a smart route from the church?
Yes, to a very large extent, okay. It is. I know a few churches and pastors that actually use that as an opportunity to bring their people together, and not just to share information about love and relationships, but to just keep them together and make sure that they are not exposed to a few other events that might quote unquote pollute them. Sure. And so they make a lot of investments in it. I would have actually mentioned a few names, of pastors that have been very dedicated to that for close to 10 years, over 10 years, and they've been doing a great job at it. They pay attention to it, they plan it, just to make sure that people do not find themselves in the wrong places. Some of the times they even plan a 2 or 3 day program, depending on where the day falls, in the month or in the week. And they make sure that they make a lot of investments to just keep people together. And I think it's something that is worth applauding, because of the sacrifice that they are making. They understand what, might go wrong if they don't do some of those things. It's just like when you're raising a child. You know what your child is ready for. And some of the times when they are not ready for the things, there's a way you pull them closer to protect them. You know, and there are a lot of people out there that do that, and I think it's commendable.
Edna, so let me put this to you. You have a church seminar on Vows Day, and your man says, Edna, I'm taking you out. As a child of God, which one are you going to honor?
As a child of God and as a lover of God, I would first go for the church half.
Hey, Edna, please don't come and lie on this show.
No, but like on a real, my church is a place where mature singles, as I said, and married couples. What they do is every Vows Day, there is a dinner, there is the candlelight. It's as if you've gone to a 5-star restaurant. All church chairs are taken out and buffet seats are brought in.
You guys are extra.
Extra. Oh. So you would see everyone is in, and then they give you dress code. Men are in suits or tux and bow ties. You have to be dressed according, and ladies are dressed like you're going out for dinner and everything. Buffet, serve yourself. You have people coming to sing.
Are you in Action Chapel, Tema?
Actually, no. I mean, Pleasant Place, Bishop Titi Ofe.
Because I mean, Bishop Okweje, you know, I mean, right from the time he was in Action Chapel, Dan Soman, and moved to the Tema Cathedral. I mean, you need to see some class.
So you have people come and sing, and it's not about gospel.
Yeah.
It's more, you hear some of these love songs that do not have profanities. Because it's a day for love, and love not just to God but to the person you are with, and they make sure to invite you with your partner. So if you're a mature single, sometimes people going through counseling, they advise you to come with your partner, and you are counseled as well. During that session you have counseling and everything. So once you're done, you guys can go back and have what you guys want to have, but still the better part of the evening.
On the back of the church adopting the whole Vows Day thing, letting their members come to church and all that, when I was much younger, I was misled about the whole Vows Day thing. I thought it was all about sex, but hey, that's not to say I was having sex on Vows Day, for the record. But then it's crazy for the youth. If you have a boyfriend, back then you see you're not so matured. They want to spend time, maybe have sex, because maybe you got a few things back in SSS, so it's a big deal. So, because in my house, my sister, bless her, she makes it a point to give us chocolate, bar of chocolate. Even the boys, all of us, everybody gets that. That's her tradition. So what can parents do? What can, we are not talking about it. They are having sex, they are being misled. Because maybe they might not hear, oh, I love you, the whole fatherly thing. Your dad is not always around, your mom is not always around. So what can parents do to ensure that their children are not misled?
That is a very important question, very important question. And quite frankly, this is the time for us to start doing that. We need to be able to provide that mentorship in the house. Okay? I mean, for instance, girls need to hear from home that they are beautiful. When you hear from home that you're beautiful, when you're walking down the street and somebody tells you, yeah, you're just too confident for anybody to mess you around because they said, hey, fine girl, And so parents need to spend time to teach their children what they need to know, okay? That you can't keep making that escapist, excuse that, oh, I'm working, I get too busy, so I'm not there, You need to be there. And some of the times these conversations don't take too long, but it's beautiful and it's important that they hear it from you. Okay, it's even easier for the girls than it is for the boys. Okay, a lot of people expect a guy or a male person to suddenly become a responsible man, a responsible father, a responsible husband. It doesn't fly into the window. It starts from the home. And so boy child education starts from the home, but it never happens just as it happens with the girls. Look at how two of you are sitting. Nobody, when you were younger, your parents would tell you, sit properly. You're a woman. Who tells the boy to sit properly?
It's true. That's a big deal, because in this society women are groomed. Oh, you shouldn't do that. You should cook. You should. But then what happens to the man who is toxic? I can do my part, I can play my part, but then if you don't groom your child well, he will come mess me up.
That is the truth.
Yeah.
That is the truth. And so we need to teach our children. We just can't keep making those excuses. We can't even leave it to the church. We can't leave it to the schools. The parents have a responsibility to contribute to raising their children. And so if your children are growing up and you are not the first mentor they have, there's a problem. There's a problem. So we need to do that. Teach them the things they need to know. Oh, these are the lies. You know, when we were growing up, what they used to say to the girls is, don't let any man touch you. If they touch you, you get pregnant. They put that thing in your head, you know. So we need to be able to teach them, because when they get the right information, they're empowered. When you see an empowered girl, you know, even at 20, at 25, at 30, you can't miss it. You know, and they're the ones that the guys ultimately now flock around them, because I mean, you've seen a wife material. She's empowered, she's informed, you know, and she knows where to draw the line, and it's because she's been properly taught, properly groomed. So the boy child also has to experience that, so he knows how to treat a woman and treat her properly. Okay. It's very, very important.
All right, and now on that too, what can parents do, right?
We live in a community where most times the man has assumed the role as the breadwinner. That's the husband. He's usually not around. So fathers would have to also play their part, because their influence is much greater than the mothers. However, a mother has the responsibility to tell the son, this is how you treat a woman, especially if you said mother, your husband is not treating you the way you want to be treated. You don't let him bring that onto the kid. So let's say I have a kid brother, he's the last one, and I see how my mom goes like, this is how you treat a woman, protect a woman. No, you don't shout at a woman. So I feel like as he grows up, he has that mentality that, oh, okay, this is how my sisters have been taught, and this is how I want to treat my sisters. So it means that I won't do that to someone's daughter. Do you get it? So I feel like mothers should also not just leave the kid and feel that it's the man's responsibility, because, hey, I'm taking care of the girl, so you do the man. You have to do it.
Because before you knew it, some guy will mess your kid up because they might be led in, oh, vows day, we should have sex. Ever wondered why the condoms are so? They might be your kid. You never know who's using that code. So it is the man of love. And just as some people plan for Christmas and Easter celebrations, Valentine's Day, which is marked on the 14th of February, remains one of the most celebrated events on the calendar. Can this man do the magic for partners or couples who are facing hard time in the relationship?
It depends on whether or not they believe in it. But like you said, I mean, no time is too early or too late, you know, to start working on a relationship that you really want to save or sustain. Okay, so you find out something is going wrong. The moment you realize it, that moment is a great opportunity to try to make things right, you know. But in trying to make things right, make sure that you're not saving what deserves to die. You just need to draw the line and make sure that, you know, whatever it is that you're saving deserves to be saved.
Don't be in a toxic relationship trying to save it.
Don't be sentimental about these things. You be you know, think. She was saying she doesn't think we're here, she thinks we're here. You know? So it's very, very important. Some of the times you actually see it, you know you shouldn't be in it, but you're just saying to yourself, what will people say? They need to know that, you know, I was able to keep this relationship and all, like there's a trophy for it, you know, and then it kills you at the end of the day. So please be very, very sincere about what you're walking into, and, you know, whether you need to save it or just let it go.
Edna.
Hello.
What will your final word be on this whole vows day, the importance? It's time for you to, you know, show love to your partner and all that. And then maybe advice to people who say they don't believe in it. Every day is a vows day, but every day is a vows day, but every day we don't see anything new. That day to that we say something, you say every day is a vows day.
Okay, so what I would say, the least I would say on this is, vows day or the month of love, it's for people you love. It shouldn't be restricted to your opposite partner, person you're sleeping with, person you're in a relationship with, or your husband, any of those things. I also believe that those who say love, Valentine's Day, every day is day for the lovers and all of that. Every day you're alive, but when is your birthday, you celebrate it.
Yes, my dear. I like what you're saying.
Yeah.
It is, but then Ogo, with all this discussion, is there anything we've left out when it comes to vows day?
I think that people should just, learn to love and love consistently, love always, love every day, do something special every day, and love in itself, that moment, if you handle it well, it's a ceremony in itself. Okay, even if it's just 5 minutes, it's a ceremony, it's memorable. Okay, so I think it's something that I'd like to leave everyone with. Love every day.
Love every day. But then is it all about love? Is that all that it comes when it comes to a relationship?
Because love, is made up of a lot of things. Okay. And when you look at it, like I said, feelings come and go. So it's not just about the feeling, okay? I even say that love is not enough, because love in itself is not capable of sustaining a relationship, okay? But it's sacrifice that sustains a relationship. And if it's inspired by love, then it makes the sacrifice easier to bear.
Okay. Yeah, so as we end on the note of love and all about love while you're spreading love, I want to introduce you to this book, Love Building Blocks. It's a 31 days relationship devotion. It's by our very own Ogochukwu Nweke. Yeah, he's got a lot of books to his credit, but then this one you should get. Know the things that it comes to love. Some people just don't know how to go about the whole thing. So this one you read, you reflect. It's good for people who are married, for us who are, looking for love. Yeah, but then I know you enjoyed this very special edition of Moans and Cuddles. And I must say thank you very much for, opening our eyes on the things that we do know. And as we're saying, it's not all about the sex. If you have a partner who doesn't believe in it, that's just fine. But then if you have the means to, girl, boy, make your partner feel loved. And because we're in the month of love. But they say Ghanaian men don't do flowers, but please, some of us, we like flowers. We will not fight you. You can bring the flowers, you can add the money, and then we'll talk later. Add the money. Add the money. So on that note, we'll end today's episode, but then we'll be back on the next conversation with a very interesting topic. My name is Paulina Teda Opoku.